You get what you came for. This time you've gone too far. I think you should know what you've done. You get what you deserve.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. My name is Brendan Plays, and we are just coming off the NXT TakeOver 5 special, and we have another edition of NXT for you here tonight as we move along in the world of NXT. This week on the show, we have Kota Ibushi. He'll be going one-on-one with Arya Daivari. Some cruiserweight action right there. Ibushi has been impressive in the past. We haven't seen too much of him lately. We'll see how he goes here tonight. Peyton Royce will go one-on-one with the returning Ember Moon. We'll see TM61 taking on Blake and Murphy. And we will see the return, or debut, I suppose, of Chavo Guerrero in NXT. We will see Chavo back in the WWE for the first time here in Universe Mode up against Jack Gallagher. And we have a huge main event match of Cassius Ohno versus Ty Dillinger. Now get this, the winner of this one takes on Bobby Roode next week for the NXT Championship. More on that later on. That will be a big, big match indeed. So first of all, Kota Ibushi versus Arya Daivari. It's Daivari. He picks up a huge victory for himself. That's massive. A win over Ibushi is huge. Royce, she gets a win over Ember Moon, spoiling her return. TM61 versus Blake and Murphy. It's TM61 with the victory. And now we'll move on to cruiserweight action as we'll see Gentleman Jack Gallagher. He'll be in action tonight, taking on the returning or debuting Chavo Guerrero, however you want to see it. But there is Jack Gallagher. He's all dressed up for the occasion at least. He's trying to dress and look the part here tonight. He is the gentleman, of course. And at NXT TakeOver 5, we saw Gran Metalik successfully defend his Cruiserweight Championship against Pete Dunne. And it was what happened after the match that got everybody talking. Chavo Guerrero made a shock appearance at TakeOver and laid out Gran Metalik. It was a major surprise to all of us, but he officially announced that he is back and he's looking to win the Cruiserweight Championship one more time. Well, he signed a pretty decent deal here, one of the highest paid superstars here at NXT, no surprise about that whatsoever. And he's got a deal that will last up until Survivor Series, so about a 6-month deal here in NXT. So he's got himself plenty of time to win that Cruiserweight Championship, and of course adding his legendary status to a pretty young and emerging division. And his veteran status will make it very difficult for the other Cruiserweights to get the better of him, in my opinion. I think being a veteran and being here in NXT gives you a massive advantage. With all that experience, all that knowledge, he can apply it. And of course, very experienced in a number of different styles. You know, he's got the lucha style, but you know, he can be very technical at the same time as well. So Chavo Guerrero versus Jack Gallagher. The first time we see Chavo in action here in the Universe Mode, and it's in NXT. Let's get it on as Chavo starts with a suplex. And speaking of Gran Metalik, well, here he is, the champion, coming out here to get a bit of a closer look and scout out Chavo Guerrero, who's clearly coming for his title. Hurricane Rana there by Chavo. There's now a steady dropkick as well. So Chavo Guerrero, well, he's going to be very, very tough to beat, like I said. And Gran Metalik, you know, he's arguably been running through the entire division. He's been doing very, very well. You know, he's beaten, you know, Noam Dar, you know, Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander. He just recently beat Pete Dunne, of course. So we're seeing some terrific stuff from Gran Metalik. How good has he been? It's been so impressive. But now you add Chavo Guerrero to the mix, and all of a sudden it's a game changer, in my opinion. All of a sudden things change, because Chavo Guerrero has been Cruiserweight Champion throughout his career. All around the world he's won championships, and for him to come to NXT at a time where there really is no veterans, maybe you could say Brian Kendrick, of course, but apart from Kendrick, there really is no other veterans in this Cruiserweight division that has had plenty of experience here in the WWE before, has had success here, and Chavo Guerrero is back here and trying to, you know, get that success and get his foot here in the door through NXT. And of course, Chavo Guerrero, we know he's got big goals and aspirations. He may be, later on in his career, may not have that much time to go. But he's back, and he's back here to win championships. And if he can win this Cruiserweight Championship, then he might look to win the NXT Championship. If he wins the NXT Championship, he might even look to get a contract and go to the main roster. So Chavo Guerrero realizes he's late in the game right now. It's a neck breaker there by Gallagher. He doesn't have a lot of time left, and perhaps the interest from the general managers from Raw and SmackDown from him to make a return on the main roster may be pretty low. But him into this Cruiserweight division is huge. This is a huge signing for NXT. And Chavo knows if he has success here at NXT, it could lead to even more money and even more success later on the main roster. So that's what he's trying to contemplate right now. But it's also about coming back to prove that he's the greatest Cruiserweight champion of all time. He's had so many championship victories in the Cruiserweight division, had so much success as Gallagher wraps up the legs and takes down Chavo with a suplex. That was different, but very effective at the same time as Gallagher wants Chavo to get back to his feet. We'll wait to see what he's going to do, and he connects. Sprung off the ropes and connected with a drop kick. So Chavo, he's back here to prove that he's still the best Cruiserweight in the world. He's still the best right now because you've got Gran Metalik beating everyone there is to be, talking about how great he is. And Chavo Guerrero, he sees this from a distance, and he's watching and looking on and realizes, hey, I can beat this guy. This should be me getting all this respect and adulation. And I think he's here to try and take all that away from Metalik. He wants to prove that he's still got it and he's still the number one. Despite him being a veteran, of course, but there's a big right hand there by Chavo. Going to spring off the ropes and connects. Well, a bit of a splashing crossbody as he takes down Gallagher, but Jack Gallagher back to his feet with a standing drop kick right there. And now Gallagher's going to swing Chavo around. Bit of strength of display here by Gentleman Jack as he's going to swing the veteran around. Chavo's in big trouble. Gallagher still going. And Jack Gallagher looking pretty good right now against Chavo Guerrero. Here's the cover. Chavo needs to find something here to kick out. He does. Oh, this is a big moment for Jack Gallagher. A win here will seal the deal for him. He'll be involved in the Cruiserweight Championship himself. He would love an opportunity at the championship and get himself a contendership spot as a DDT. And also ruin the return of Chavo Guerrero, who's clearly come back in. Well, that right there is the arrogance on display by Chavo. He's clearly coming back, showing no respect to these up-and-coming superstars here in NXT, these up-and-coming cruiserweights. He has no care for them at all. He's back here to beat them and take away all their, opportunities, take away their glory, ruin their opportunities. He still wants to hog the spotlight. He still wants to be the man, and that is beautiful from Chavo Guerrero. Looking to head up top now. We could see the frog splash. He hit this on Metalik and Takeover, and Gran Metalik can only watch and look on as he's going for it. Oh! Gallagher able to get out of the way. Perhaps saves the day for himself. And now Gentleman Jack trying to take advantage of the miss. Can he get the 3 count here? It's Chavo. Will comfortably kick out again at the count of 2, but Jack Gallagher was moments away from perhaps losing this one thanks to Chavo Guerrero, but the miss and the wherewithal to get the hell out of the way worked out pretty well for Jack. But he now has to take the most of this opportunity. He needs to make the most of it. He needs to take advantage and really put Chavo Guerrero away here, because at the moment you have to say Chavo's been in control, so takedown doesn't get the 3. But Chavo just taking his time right now, looking just to beat Gallagher. Not trying to do it anything fancy, anything flashy, just trying to get this victory. As Chavo, oh wow! Outsmarting Gentleman Jack Gallagher, landed the kick right on the skull of Jack, and he may be out cold. He's dazzled and dazed, trying to get to his feet. It's Chavo, lands again, springs over the top of the rope, takes down Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and now drags him towards the ropes. And, oh wait a second, referee's not seeing it. He's using the ropes. Well, he lies, he cheats and steals like he's Uncle Eddie. And Chavo picks up the win. Chavo Guerrero uses the ropes, and I guess that is a sign of what we can expect from Chavo here at NXT. He will do whatever it takes to win. Well, we know Eddie Guerrero loved to lie, cheat, and steal. Well, Chavo taking a page out of his book, using the ropes, both feet on it, extra leverage, and making sure that Jack Gallagher could not kick out. Well, you don't have to like it, but you just have to accept it. Chavo Guerrero is here in NXT. He's looking to win the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. He's one of the best cruiserweights in the world. He wants to prove that he still is. He's a veteran, but he's a damn good one at that. And a big win here tonight. Gran Metalik has been put on notice. Chavo is here, and he's here to win the gold. A huge win tonight for Chavo Guerrero. And by the looks of it, we're going to see Chavo Guerrero speak to us and say a few words. He's got the microphone in hand. So Chavo Guerrero, we'll hear from him, his first words since coming back here to the WWE in NXT. So I bet you're all wondering why I'm back here in NXT. I'm back because I want to be the best. I have beaten everyone there is to beat throughout my career. I have faced all of the greats. So when I turn on NXT and I hear all the talk about how great Gran Metalik is and how he is one of the best cruiserweights right now in the world, if not one of the greatest of all time, that makes me sick. Because if you ask me, I am one of the great cruiserweights of all time. I am still the best. And Gran Metalik, if you want to prove that you're the greatest cruiserweight champion of all time, you want to prove that you are worthy of being considered one of the best, then you gotta go through me. Because if you ask me, Gran Metalik, you can't even lace my boots. So I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm gonna take your championship, I'm gonna run through this entire cruiserweight division. And I'm gonna add some legitimacy and some credibility to this division, and I'm gonna have everybody talking about me and how I am the greatest cruiserweight of all time. Well, Chavo Guerrero certainly thinks pretty highly of himself, but those are some strong words. He's here in NXT to become the cruiserweight champion and take the title from Metalik. Well, we switch from the championship hunt in the cruiserweight division to the championship hunt for the NXT championship, and in this one tonight, folks, we'll see Cassius Ohno. He'll be in action. He will be up against Tye Dillinger in singles action, and now in this one, the winner takes on Bobby Roode next week for the NXT Championship. Now, if you're wondering why these two are getting an opportunity, well, it was at NXT TakeOver 5 where we saw Bobby Roode pin Roderick Strong with the glorious DDT. Well, we saw Ohno was just, perhaps 1 second away from breaking up the pinfall, just couldn't quite get there in time. Tye Dillinger was nowhere to be seen. So, Ohno and Dillinger, they weren't involved in the decision. And our NXT General Manager, Shawn Michaels, well, he really thinks that, since Bobby Roode really got a little bit lucky, perhaps wasn't the glorious victory, I guess you could say, that he was hoping for. I think Shawn Michaels has realized that and decided, let's give one of these two another chance, a second chance at becoming the NXT Champion. So, we will see either Ohno or Dillinger get their hands on Bobby Roode next week. Well, here we go. So, Tye Dillinger. Well, he's been impressive for a long time now, as has Ohno. But Dillinger lacks the big wins. The championship has eluded him. I guess even Bobby Roode has been a tough opponent for him to knock off. Tye Dillinger, though, looks focused and ready to go, and he knows what is on the line in this one. This could be perhaps his last chance for quite some time. If he loses this match, he may no longer be in the championship hunt for a while. There's a lot of other contenders. We know there's Eric Young looking for an opportunity. Andrade Cien almost wants a chance as well. Elias Sampson wants an opportunity. Even some of the cruiserweights. Kota Ibushi has, thrown his hand out there. And of course we saw Aleister Black. He just signed a contract to NXT. He's now a part of NXT. He, of course, wants his opportunities. So, lots of new contracts being re-signed and lots of guys coming into NXT. And now, of course, if you missed it at NXT TakeOver, NXT's actually extended their salary cap to over $6 million now. Originally, they had $5 million in spending. Now it's $6 million, which means they have $1 million extra to spend. And, of course, that will obviously mean that some existing contracts will get boosted, as we saw earlier on in the video with some new contracts being signed, but also means we will see some newcomers coming to NXT. We've already seen Chavo Guerrero and Aleister Black. Well, who else is going to show up? So we will see some new names coming to NXT soon, no doubt about that. There's plenty of room in the salary cap to move now for NXT as Cassius Ohno looking to find that elbow. The elbow that could perhaps win him an opportunity at the champion next week. And, well, it was really Ohno who kind of kickstarted the whole Fatal 4-Way situation. He was the one who targeted Bobby Roode right from the get-go at TakeOver number 4. And I guess it's a little unlucky for him not to be the winner at the end of the day, because Bobby Roode just won and Ohno had a chance to break things up. He was just a little too slow. He couldn't quite get there. And Ohno really believed that he was going to be the man. He really believed that that was going to be his night where he would change the game and he would win that championship. And you could argue that Bobby Roode has kind of been in a bit of a league of his own. Bobby Roode is by far the highest paid superstar here in NXT. He's earning $500,000. And that's nearly double what anyone else is making here in NXT. It's ridiculous numbers. And we've been told that, Raw and SmackDown are trying to offer some, a similar type money to try and lure him over to SmackDown and Raw. But obviously NXT's had to sign him for massive, massive money to keep him here in NXT for a little while longer. And Bobby Roode, he's told us that he would like to go to the main roster eventually, but he still believes he's got more guys to beat and he still needs to make NXT glorious. He feels as though his job isn't done yet. It's an atomic drop there by Dillinger. Follows it up with a second one as Ohno is down, and understandably, after you take a couple of shots there, you will be down for a little bit. So lots of attention for Bobby Roode at the moment from the main roster. And, as we've seen perhaps with Nia Jax when she lost to Asuka at the recent TakeOver special, when some part of your mind is on the main roster and the other part is on NXT, you just aren't focusing enough in time and your energy into NXT, and your performances are going to suffer. And I think that's what happened with Nia Jax. She's obviously competing for the Women's Championship recently, and she's lost that. Now to come back to NXT, and she's clearly just struggling with the, balancing the two. She lost her championship. So Bobby Roode has outright said, look, I'm not interested in going to the main roster until my contract expires. So Bobby Roode obviously committing to NXT for a long time, and I think that's a smart decision, because if you're trying to focus on two at the same time, that's when danger starts to arrive. As now Ohno has Dillinger in a bad spot because his head's been driven right into the mat with that pile driver, and that means Dillinger is in massive trouble. Can he find a way to kick out? He does. Dillinger stays in this match, the perfect 10, looking to win the NXT Championship for the first time. He needs to get through Ohno first. As now Ohno, here it comes, uh-oh. The elbow! Right to the back of Dillinger's skull. Has that knocked him out cold? Will that get him the 3 count? No! A great kick out there by Dillinger, and I tell you what, Ohno will be in disbelief. He thought that was going to be 3. But perhaps Dillinger still has some fight left in him. Very early on in the match still, as Dillinger stays in this one. As now, look out, Dillinger going for a bit of a lazy neck breaker. And this time, he turned it into the shoulder, right into the neck. As now Dillinger just showing us some of his perfect skills right there, as he's giving us a bit of a cartwheel. As now he might be looking to go for that tiebreaker perhaps on Cassius Ohno. As now, Ohno grabs the leg and takes down Dillinger. Saves the day for himself. And now has Dillinger wrapped up and trying to wrench the head back. Trying to make Dillinger tap out here. He's close to the ropes. He's just going to look to his right. But as you can see, the hands are wrapped on Dillinger. He can't quite see where he's at in the ring. And fortunately enough, he's been able to break the hold and stay in it. Ohno now driven into the corner. And Dillinger will get him up. This is trouble. This is a bad position to be in if you're Cassius Ohno, because Tye Dillinger is thinking about avalanching Ohno off the top of the superplex. And a back suplex off the top of the rope. And now big trouble here. Cassius Ohno could be down for the count if he's not careful. Tye Dillinger now prepares himself. He's got Ohno up. Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker from Dillinger. Can Ohno find something? Oh, he'll get the shoulder up. blow for blow between the two right now. We saw the elbow, and now we've seen the tiebreaker. And both men have found a way to kick out, obviously knowing the winner gets their shot at Bobby Roode next week. And how big will that be? Look out, time for attempted scoop slam instead. It's Dillinger with the counter, reverse DDT. And now he'll line up Ono again. He's got something big in store for Ono once again. What is it this time? As now, Ono bounces off Dillinger. The perfect 10 by Dillinger. Is that going to be it? He's busted Ono open. Oh, and a kick out at 2. Dillinger saying count faster. And I got to agree. I thought that was 3. The referee a little slow. And perhaps Ono has been saved. Cassius Ono was beaten right there by Dillinger. But he survives. Just barely though. That perfect 10 nearly put him down. Ono now trying to pump himself up here. 2 fan favourites. Both trying to get the support of the crowd. You'd have to say Dillinger's probably got it though. Hang on. Dillinger trying to take off the top turnbuckle padding. Nearly cost him, but he hit the counter as well. Able to save the day. Now Dillinger gets Ono back to his feet. And uh-oh. We're going to see it again. Tiebreaker once again. But this time Ono not in position to go for the cover. And Dillinger's wasted too much time. He's going to get him towards the middle of the ring, but he's still not going to try and pin him. I think that's a mistake by Dillinger. But obviously he believes he's got something else planned, something bigger in mind. He wants to try and beat Ono in a different way. This may be it. The perfect 10 again. And did you see how far Ono sprung back? Massive trouble now for Ono. Dillinger's going to beat him here. No, again a kick out by Ono. The shoulder is up. Can you believe it? Ty Dillinger certainly can't. These two men giving it their all to try and get their shot at Bobby Roode. And you can't blame him. The chance of the NXT Championship one-on-one is a bit of a rarity around here. Don't see too many title matches unless it's a takeover. So this is a huge chance. As now, Ono drops down Dillinger. It's now Ono lining up Dillinger. This is trouble. Ono, here we go. And wow! Oh! Went for that spinning kick. Trying to take the head off Ty Dillinger, but he's missed out. And now, Dillinger drops down as a running Death Valley driver. As now Dillinger has a real chance to put Ono away here. Ono struggling to get to his feet. Ty Dillinger taking a chance for a breather, but he may be missing an opportunity to keep the offense going on his opponent. As now here he comes. There's the press. Well, perhaps he was just waiting for the right time, waiting for Ono to get to his feet. Some big right hands, so you can see the blood streaming down the face of Ono. This is not good at all. As now Ono trying to go for a pile driver. As no, Dillinger's going to counter. Dillinger hits a pile driver. Well, not quite the power behind it that he would have been hoping for, but it is a pile driver nonetheless. And now Ty Dillinger lines him up. And again, hits the knee right in the face of Cassius Ono with a perfect 10. Has Dillinger done it? You betcha. He's taking on Bobby Roode next week for the NXT Championship. What a battle between these two. Both men gave it their absolute all, hitting their best moves, everything they had. And at the end of the night, it's going to be Ty Dillinger with his hand raised going to take on Bobby Roode next week for the NXT Championship. A massive victory for Ty Dillinger tonight. And it's a win that will certainly catapult him here in NXT. A chance to take on the champ one-on-one. Win, lose or draw, it doesn't matter. It's a massive opportunity for Dillinger. And a great opportunity to showcase himself as Bobby Roode from behind. Roode from behind! Bobby Roode looking to blindside the winner here. I think this was a pre-planned attack here by Bobby Roode. Spinebuster! Well, Dillinger went through a huge battle with Ono, and now Bobby Roode looking to pick up the scraps. Glorious DDT! And Bobby Roode has laid out Ty Dillinger here tonight. And in typical Bobby Roode fashion, he needs to have the last say and all the attention right back on him. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see Rude versus Dillinger next week here on NXT, but for now, we'll leave you with this. Money in the Bank is coming away very, very soon, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Universe Sport. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. It'd be great if we can hit 6 likes on this one to celebrate the Money in the Bank ladder match. Of course, subscribe to see more episodes coming from me in the near future, and if you can, check out my second channel in the description down below and subscribe to that as well. Helps me out a big time. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this episode. If you can, follow me on Twitter at Brendan Plays. Leave a like to the Facebook page. Brendan Plays is the name. And of course, the last thing, check out the website BrendanPlays.com to find out the full Money in the Bank match card. More matches have been added to it, so check it out as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.